more Kazahana may have lied about the whole Shylily face doxing situation regarding the Sinder Situation. For context, there is a YouTube video that more Kazahana posted on June 4th, 2025. Wrong overlay. It's not the title. This is the title. Cinder fans are doxing Shylily over VTuber drama on his own YouTube channel, More Kazahana. Basically, in the video...
So this is a video that I've been planning for quite a while, and by quite a while, I mean months. I've been doing a little bit of research into a Cinder group, which has been doing some pretty crazy stuff behind the scenes, and I just kind of had to cover all of this because I've been in the server watching what they've been doing, and a lot of the stuff they've been doing is absolutely abhorrent. Now, just to give you a little rundown of what they've been doing, and we will go into all of the evidence behind this, is they've been doing stuff, for example, like targeting Shylily by doing stuff like doxing her face and things like that in the chat.
So you heard it from more Kazahana himself. He claims that this Discord server was doxing Shylily's face and bunch of other stuff, and that pretty much sets the tone for the YouTube video. Now, after this YouTube video dropped, apparently a lot of people got banned from various VTubers' Twitch channels and Discord servers, and I covered that in one of my previous videos, saying like, hey, it seems like a content creator is the reason why some people got banned from VTubers' Twitch channels and Discord servers. After I made that video, that whole thing, which you can find on my YouTube channel in my Sinder Situation analysis playlist, shameless plug there, 2 anonymous sources came up to me and told me their side of the story, which is completely different from the coverage more Kazahana made. Now, I've been in talks with them, and they gave me permission to use the messages in our Convo and the screenshots they sent me for the purpose of this video, and honestly, if what they say is true, I hope their names can get cleared. Now, to show that in good faith that I did get their permission to show these messages, I made sure to save screenshots because this is the era that we live in the VTuber sphere. So I made my own Google Docky, and as you can see here, I censored people's usernames and profile pictures for anonymity. So the black censored one is anonymous source number 1, white is anonymous source number 2, and I asked them on August 5th, 2025, 4:49 p.m. Before we continue, may I use the messages in this group chat for a video? Of course, I'll keep you both anonymous. Anon 1, sure, I could also do a voice recording in voice chat going over stuff if you want. Anon 2, I mean, as long as I'm Anon, I don't see why not. Okay, to be fair, I didn't say the screenshots, but they let me use the screenshots. So, yeah, it's a private conversation, and they did say, sure, you can use the messages in this convo. Screenshots being part of the messages. Oh, anyway, that aside, so I did get permission about this. Now, before we begin, there is a lot of information that Anon 1 and Anon 2 has given me, so this video will be all over the place. It will be disorganized, but I'll try and make it coherent. To start things off, I would like to talk about doxing, and the meaning of doxing, and whether or not that server that more Kazahana covered did dox Shylily's face. That's a really bold claim, and because of that, many fans were banned from their favorite VTuber's Twitch channel and Discord channels. Like, a few fans got banned for it because of more Kazahana's video, to my understanding. So, what is doxing? According to Google, dox, or I guess doxing, is the search for and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. There are 2 things to this, guys. Publicly posting private information without consent. That's the first thing. And the second thing is malicious intent. So the intent is the big thing there. Even if the stuff is public, intent matters. Now, I asked Google, hey, if the information is already available publicly, is that considered doxing if you have a brain and search for it? And according to Google AI, no, doxing is not necessarily illegal or considered doxing if the information is already publicly available. Doxing, by definition, is the act of publicly revealing someone's private information online without their consent. While the act of revealing publicly available information not be illegal, the intent behind it and the context in which it's used can determine whether it's considered doxing and potentially harmful. Okay, now that we've established doxing and whether or not using publicly already available information is considered doxing, let's go ahead and see if it's doxing if I can find Shylily's face in real life. Because Kazahana made the claim. Kazahana made the claim that the server was doxing Shylily's face. Okay, so is Shylily's in real life face searchable online? Okay, let's go to a tab. This is done live. Peak cinema, I tell you. Oh, look at that. It's like I planned this. Shylily IRL face. You see me click that. Okay, cool. Brings me to images. Let's see YouTube, Sportskeeda, Reddit, and then there's something called TikTok. And honestly, it's weird. Look, there's a streamer there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that, and it's gonna take me to the TikTok website. Okay, Shylily face, TwitchCon. Interesting. That's what I'm getting here. Okay, so there are 2 TikToks here. Let's go to this one. Before we continue, this TikTok was posted by streamer_trash posting on September 15th, 2022. So this has been online for like years at this point. All right, let's go ahead and watch the TikTok.
So close. Come on, man. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Okay. All right. Sounds oddly similar to Shylily, right? Maybe it's not. Well, why don't we check the next TikTok here? There's another TikTok here. And apparently, I think if you scroll forward, she talks.
People play to ADC, I found her to be more impactful, to be fair.
There it is. She spoke a set again, and it sounds like Shylily. By the way, this TikTok was posted at September 17th, 2022. This is public information, people. This isn't anything new. This has been on the internet for, as of this video recording, 3 years. Because right now this video is being recorded in 2025. Now, if you're like, oh, Godfred, you're doing something not good, I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna blow your mind. Because guess what? There's an article about Shylily's face. There is an article by Dairy Project by someone named Bilal on March 6, 2023, so 2 years ago, as of this recording, which is done in 2025, titled Shylily VTuber Face Reveal, Interesting Facts and More. And when you scroll through the article, oh my goodness, you see Shylily's here, like on the left and the right, and there's someone oddly familiar in the center there with a blurred face, and that setup is strangely familiar because it's the same one as shown in this TikTok. It's there! This information is publicly available. So, that's a big thing. This information's already publicly available. In fact, the article says this. Shylily, also known as Lily, is an independent VTuber from the Netherlands. She has been active on Twitch since August 29th, 2015. Prior to her recent 2D re-debut on January 10th, 2022, she had created her own model. This woman has been streaming for years before she became a VTuber. She has a full streamer setup. She was streaming IRL. So this isn't new information. This is publicly accessible information. Literally, you saw me type it in the Google search, Shylily IRL face, and I saw 2 TikToks with her face, and there is an article online, I will put it in the description below so you can check for yourself, about Shylily's face. It's there. It's publicly available. Granted, it's hard to find it because I guess like all of that stuff has been taken off the internet, but as you can see, there's some remnants of her IRL days online. So the whole thing about doxing Shylily's face is a sham. It is a lie. How can you dox someone if it's publicly accessible? Plus, by the way, was it posted with a malicious intent? Well, in my case, I'm just proving a point. I'm just trying to show that, hey, this is online. I'm not trying to use it to harm anyone. I'm just putting it out there like, hey, this is accessible. So the intent is purely educational on my end. Now, was the Cinder server that Kazahana was in, were they going to do it with malicious intent? Were they even going to release this information to the public? Well, thanks to Anon 1 and Anon 2's responses to some of my questions, we can confirm that. Assuming what they say is true. But anyway, in one of these screenshots in my little Google Doggy here, which I will post in the description of this video so you can check the screenshots out for yourself, I asked them a couple questions. I ask, what was the name of the Discord server? Anon1, PPtea. And was the info in the server meant to go public? Anon1, nope. Nope. Anon1 stated that the information in that server that more Kazahana was in was never meant to go public. They weren't going to dox Shylily's face, according to the 2 anonymous sources that came out and contacted me regarding this. And by the way, for context, these 2 anonymous sources were some of the people that got banned from various VTuber Twitch channels and Discord servers due to more Kazahana's video. So that's a whole thing there. I then asked them, did Kazahana ever tell you guys not to do what you were doing in the server while it was still active? And Anon1 says nope, he never said a word in the server, which, by the way, Mark Kazahana confirmed he was just in there chilling. So that was a whole thing there. So the whole thing with the doxing of Shylily's face, first off, we have confirmation from Anon number 1, who was in that server, telling me, no, this information wasn't going out to the public. So they weren't even going to publicly post it. 2, the information is public. It's not private. They were not going to do anything about that, so there's no private information there. And 3, there was like no malicious intent because they had no intent to post it to the public. So that narrative that more Kazahana is pushing in that YouTube video is false. It's a sham, and it's a blatant, bold-faced lie. Now that we've established that the whole doxing Shylily's face thing is a full-on sham, let's go ahead and talk about some things that are in his video regarding the Shylily doxing face situation. Now, if you go to the YouTube video, you go about like 5 minutes in about? Yeah, let's go about like 6 minutes around that time. All right, we go in there.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is...
Dude, why'd you interrupt me, bro?
Who murdered my sweet little Daniel.
What the fudge? Anyway.
Yeah, they're just happening a wrong and, bad thing to...
All right. I want to put this out there. Apparently, according to the anonymous sources that reached out to me, the editing in this video is uncanny. It's weird. Because you see this here, right? Do you see that title in the video? VTuber, Shylily face reveal, interesting facts. And I think the censorship, yeah, look, the censorship breaks, I believe. The heck? What? Huh? That's weird, because you see, in the video, there's Ravons and, what is it, like, May 12th, 2024 at 22:24, you see the censorship, and then the censorship changes. Do you guys see that? What is this editing? Why is it like this? What? Am I insane? Oh no. He's just like censoring weird stuff. By the way, I'm putting out this specific timestamp here because do you see that article there? Shylily VTuber face reveal, interesting facts. That is the article that I just showed you. The people in the server used publicly available information. There is nothing new. This is public information, people. More Kazahana is making it seem like they have like information that wasn't already posted publicly. This is information that was already public to begin with. Again, he lied to thousands of people and got fans banned over this. Think about that. What the heck? So, anyway, I wanted to point that out there. Now that we've put that, the Shylily doxing thing is a sham, a bold-faced lie, let's throw that to the side. Let's go ahead and talk about the screenshots that anonymous source 1 and 2 sent me. So we're going to go over these, and it's basically part of their testimony about their experience in the server that is completely different from what more Kazahana was talking about. Now, I asked them at 4:22 p.m., August 5th, 2025, and yes, if you ask, yes, the screenshots are out of order, much like the screenshots in Nanolys's Google Doc, but as you can tell, I'm throwing shade everywhere. It's heavily disorganized, bear with me. So I asked them, so the server is shut down. Anon 2 says the one we were in, yes. Anon 1, sadly, yes. Anon 2, the mods and Cinder server said to take it down, and before any of us could archive it or screenshot stuff, the server owner burned it down. Anon 1, I had instructed the owner of the server to archive the server instead of deleting it in case this very situation happened, but he didn't listen and nuked it anyways. And then I say, oof, that's unfortunate. Anon 1, yeah, it really screwed us over. So because they don't have any screenshots or like the Discord server wasn't archived, they have nothing to refute more Kazahana. They don't have anything to clear their names. So all they have is their word, unfortunately. However, they do provide an assortment of screenshots. So we're going to go through them now. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the bans. So like I said, when more Kazahana posted this video right here, Cinder fans are doxing Shylily over VTuber drama, after the video dropped, a slew of people got banned from various VTubers' Twitch channels and Discord servers, Anon 2 and Anon 1 being part of the whole blanket ban, as they say. So at 4:06 p.m., yes, we're going back in time, Anon 2 says also was going to drop this here, and lists all the VTubers that Anon 2 was banned from as well as the associated reasoning. For Camila, Doxxing, Contel, no reason, Nihimune, no reason, Spite, no reason, Megalodon VT, no reason, Tomo, no reason, Tricky Wee Essay. You were found to be part of a server where the main purpose was to harass and dox streamers who spoke out against Cinder, and as such you have been removed from the community. Kokui, the most offensive one, known Cinder doxer, WFT, Lucy Pyre, no reason, Analyst, no reason, Bao, doxing VTubers, like doxing others is okay, Meat, known VTuber doxer, again, like doxing others is okay, Yuzu, no reason, given, chat ban, Victoria the Sun Eater, Cinder hate server, some were banned from Lily Discord, but none from her Twitch, according to Anon 2. And then Anon 2 provides screenshots to support the message here. So there is the ban from Camila, there's doxing, from Tricky, there's the essay that Anon 2 says you were found to be part of a server where the main purpose was to harass and dox streamers who spoke out against Cinder, as such you have been removed from the community. Kokui, known Cinder doxer, Bao, doxing VTubers, Meat, known VTuber doxer, what is this one? Oh, Victoria the Sun Eater, Cinder hate server. It wasn't even a Cinder hate server, according to the anonymous sources. And then, Anon 1 states, all of them happened within the day Kaza video came out. Basically, all around that time, we saw a blanket ban going out on us. So, they were being banned left and right once Kazahana's video dropped. Okay. Anon 1 sends me this screenshot right here. I think you can see it. Yes, you can. Anon 1 says, we do know there was absolutely someone or a group of people going around and spreading our names, as I was told by one of L_XOX's mods the day I was banned from her server. So there is the screenshot here, and it's pretty small. Let me just zoom in. Boop, boop. So that way you guys can read it. Let's put it there. Can you see it? Perfect, perfect. This is on point. This is the screen. This is the message that Anon 1 got from Leo_XOX. At 8:01 p.m., don't know what date, hi Anon 1, it has been brought to our attention that you were involved in a server that sought to dox Shylily. Based on the information and evidence provided to us, as we have seen that you had expressed interest in the personal information about Shylily, made comments about her personal information, as well as threatening harm to the people covering the story at the time. In this, you have shown yourself to be an active and knowing participant in what was happening in said server. This fundamentally goes against the values that we stand for in the VTubing community. Part of what attracts so many people to becoming a VTuber is the anonymity and the safety that comes from that anonymity. To be in that type of server and actively collude against another person in this space breaks that trust that we hold here in this larger community. As a result of this, we have decided to remove you from our community. We are giving you this explanation due to the fact that you've been an active member of this community for so long. If you have anything you wish to say about this, now would be the time to do so. So, people were being banned. They didn't have a chance to explain themselves, and it was just a horrible thing for these people. Like, think about it. You are minding your own business in a server where information wasn't even meant to go public, which I want to point out real quick. At the beginning of the video, this screenshot that more Kazahana shows is the rules of the Discord server, PPtea. No NSFW, no spamming, what happens here stays here, don't bring it to hellhole, don't start drama in other servers, be nice. Doxing would be considered under rule number 4. Don't start drama in other servers. And I would say it would go under 3 too. Freak if I know. But either way, we already saw that Anon 1 said the information in the server wasn't even going to go public. So the fudge is this all about? Alright. Now, Anon 1 and Anon 2 sent me screenshots of one of their comrades that also got banned because of more Kazahana's video, and it shows that anonymous source's experience with a certain VTuber. I don't know who that is. I was sent the screenshot censored. So for the purpose of this next part, I am going to show their anonymous sources 3's screenshots. So orange is the VTuber, blue is the anonymous source 3. Let me see if you guys can see that. You guys can. Like I said, this is a long video, guys. Buckle up. All right. So let's see here. So at June 7th, 2025, 100 hours, the VTuber says, hey, sorry to suddenly bother you, just wanted to ask a bunch of questions if you were okay with it. I removed you from the server for now, but I just kind of wanted a clarification. Excuse me, Taco Bell. Anon 3, I can understand why. VTuber, I can respect the honesty. Essentially, another VTuber sent me a ban list with problematic people that were involved in a doxing attempt, but from what I saw on my server from chatting what you posted so far, and from what I remember, you seemed chill. Kind of wanted to know your side. Anon 3, I'm more than happy to. I appreciate you talking to me about this. Apologies if it takes me a bit to explain. VTuber, no problem at all. Just keep in mind it is 1 AM for me in Eurozone. I might probably respond after sleep. I will check the response as soon as I can, though for now I'll get some sleep. Anon 3, thank you. So I'm sure you're familiar with the Cinder drama that had happened last month. Unfortunately, I don't have solid evidence to prove her innocence because the server owner panicked and deleted the server shortly after Kazahana posted his video, meaning we couldn't screenshot the full conversations that happened. I didn't believe the narrative that was pushed against Cinder, and I ended up joining a private Discord full of similar-minded people. The aim of this server was to archive all known evidence and try to get a more neutral picture because the proof used for the accusations against Cinder just didn't seem credible to us. The server had a very strong emphasis on keeping stuff private, and this was also included in our rules, which can be seen at the start of Kaza's video. We didn't want to attack other people, we just wanted to try and make a more neutral look at things. This narrative already blows more Kazahana's narrative out of the water about the whole, ooh, we're gonna dox Shylily thing. Assuming that the anonymous sources are speaking the truth here, of course. In Kaza's video, he painted the narrative that we were taking private information about Shylily and planned to dox her. This was never the case. Kaza used out-of-context comments to paint a false narrative. The actual conversation started with Shade. Shade is a new VTuber who recently debuted, and she got into a bit of drama when she was accused of copying Shylily's model. This conversation comparing their models eventually moved onto Shylily's IRL appearance, and people were rating her looks. You can even see me in the video defending her looks. I personally didn't like how other people were shitting on her. I think just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you have to bash them for everything else. One thing I should point out is that we were looking at publicly available information that you can find at the top of a Google search. This was simply a private conversation regarding her appearance. At some point, however, one of the members thought she looks similar to an old YouTuber who apparently did lots of horrible things like trying to bully people into suicide. People then tried to figure out if this YouTuber and Shylily were the same person. Obviously they weren't, and the conversation was dropped. At one point in Kaza's video, he shows a screenshot of me saying, looks like censored, I used to know actually Lamau. That censored word was actually just somebody. There was no malicious intent behind this comment. I was just pointing out that Shylily's, a German, appearance was similar to someone I used to know, who was Polish. The rest of Kaza's video was cherry-picking edgy things people were saying. I never made any comments hoping someone would kill themselves or implying I would hurt someone, however some other people did. This was people getting highly emotional, and Kaza did not include the parts afterwards where people were told to calm down. Moving on to the part about Cotton, one of the users really liked Cotton and kept posting about her, and I found it annoying, and when he posted a link about her horrible birthday, I didn't read the post about what happened to Cotton and just posted that meme in response because I was not only annoyed at the user for constantly posting about Cotton, but I also didn't care about what happened to Cotton, which at the time I thought was something minor because I never read her post. Kaza made sure not to include the argument right after where people argued whether it was okay to react to the bad news about Cotton in such a way. I wasn't active in the conversation during this argument, so it was only after this conversation was over did I notice what happened to Cotton. What happened to her was really shitty, and I wouldn't have posted that meme if I actually bothered to read her post. The only reason this all ended up public was because someone in the server invited Kazahana himself in. The server was pretty underdeveloped, there was no vetting channel for newcomers, and there was no welcoming message, so we never noticed Kazahana join. I only noticed his name in the member list by pure chance just a few days before he posted his video, but obviously it was too late by then. At the end of the day, this was a private server, and there was a strong emphasis to not let drama slip outside it. But unfortunately, the drama vulture slipped in and found a way to milk more drama. This is the only proof I have. The conversation continues. Shadow was banned because he posted stuff from the private server into Cinder's official server, and this broke our rules. As I said above, our server was not well developed, and one of the problems we encountered was the role given to Shadow didn't have permission to see the rules. Without knowing the rules, Shadow ended up breaking them without ever actually seeing them. This eventually got fixed, and he was allowed back in the server. He also invited Kazahana in. If you're wondering who the Hellhound Knights were, they were another Discord group that went around and actively harassed people for not fully supporting Cinder. They also spread a lie that Cinder's Discord mods were working for Shylily. Some people from our group helped Cinder's mods find out who they were and banned them. I appreciate you going out of your way to see my side of the story. I talked to some of the other people that were involved, and they had been banned from most VTuber servers without being allowed to explain things first. So I really do appreciate you taking the time for this, and proceeds to post more screenshots. Again, Anon3 says, I spoke with one of the people who was in the server, and they gave me permission to post the start of their conversation too. Okay, and then VTuber says, hey, thank you for your response. I appreciate to see your take on the situation. And again, my apologies for the very rapid response. Doxing accusations aren't a joke, and it's usually the rule to act fast and figure out details later rather than be included in a bigger set of issues. You have my thanks for understanding and taking it calmly. The situation and video itself left me very confused. I only watched it recently, and to me, most of the recent events happened while other things were dragging me down, so I am not the most informed. I won't be moralizing, not my place to do that, but I appreciate your honesty and take on the situation. The AWACS meme is pretty funny though, especially with the additional context. Continues on, I won't comment on the drama, honestly not qualified to do that, gonna keep my thoughts on that private, but as far as I can tell, you didn't break server rules of my Twitch chat or my Discord server, and I'll re-add you after I get some sleep. It is past 3 AM. Thank you for taking the time to explain it, and I'll just add that I would prefer to avoid drama discussion in the Discord. Anon3, no problem, I understand you treating doxing allegations seriously, and I'd have taken the exact same approach if I was in your place. It's a nasty situation, and it's especially unsettling to have someone sneak into a private server in order to spread lie in public to farm views and then attack your feelings. Still, I really appreciate you choosing to hear from different sides before coming to a conclusion. It's something more people need to do. I respect your wish to keep drama away from your server and anywhere else, to be honest, and I'm happy to rejoin when possible. VTuber, can you check if you got unbanned? Anon3, yes, I'm back. Thank you. VTuber, all good. No worries. So, from this screenshot between Anonymous Source 3 and a VTuber that re-added this anonymous source back into their respective Discord server, it seems that more Kazahana didn't do his due diligence. He didn't go in and do, like, digging. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. He didn't do his due diligence and gather intel. It seems that he just made a false narrative and ran with it. And also, before I continue, apparently, according to Anonymous Source 1 and 2, and apparently Anonymous Source 3 at this case, more Kazahana joined the Discord server around May 5th? So I asked them that question. Let's scroll all the way down. I asked them, when did you both think Kazahana joined the server again? Anon 2, if I remember correctly, it was the beginning of May, so like 1st to 5th if I recall correctly. What was the proof you have to support this, if any? Anon 2, nothing tangible since the server went boom, but I know we had checked who made server invites and when. I also remember looking at his profile while he was in the server, since we wanted to cross-reference the invite link against his join time. Gotcha. Thanks, Anon 2. Anon 2. Once Anon 1 sees this, he will likely say similar. No problem, wish we had proof of stuff though. Worst move was for the server to just get nuked like that. Anon 2. Oh, Anon 1 in response to Anon 2's message. Exactly, we have no hard evidence he was specifically invited, but cross-referencing when the invite links were made when his profile says he joined, it's very obvious at least one invite link was created to get Kaz into the server on May 5th. Now let this sink in. According to the anonymous sources that were part of the Shylily Doxxing server, which was a private Discord server according to Anonymous Source 3, and also according to Anonymous Source 1, the information in said private Discord server was never meant to go public, it seems that more Kazahana joined this server around May 5th, according to these sources. Now, what did more Kazahana say at the very beginning of this video?
So this is a video that I've been planning for quite a while, and by quite a while I mean months. I've been doing a little bit of research into a Cinder group, which has been doing
Months, he says. More Kazahana said plural, months. Alright, so assuming the anonymous sources' intel is indeed factual and true, and that More Kazahana joined around May 1st to May 5th, then More Kazahana only had roughly a month to get this video out, because this video was posted on June 4th, 2025. That is literally a month later. So if what we're taking from what the anonymous sources are telling us is true, then that means More Kazahana joined the server on May 5th, May 1st to May 5th, but apparently is a May 5th, strong emphasis on the 5th. That means that More Kazahana only had 1 month to make this video. Think about that. This man said months, but according to the anonymous sources, he joined around May 5th. Which means that if, and I'm going to say this again, if it is true, More Kazahana has once again spread misinformation and lies about this. One, they didn't dox Shylily's face, they were never going to dox Shylily's face, and two, this man lied. He only had 1 month to make this video. Assuming that the anonymous source's intel is true. So it seems there are two lies going on in that YouTube video. But anyway, moving on, if you're wondering about the screenshots that were in that convo between VTuber and Anon 3, this is the screenshot here. So there's a whole slew, there was a whole conversation within that conversation between Anonymous Source 1 and Shadowfay, which apparently, according to Anonymous Source 3, may have been the one to bring More Kazahana into the server, and there is an inference here by this screenshot here. So on June 1st, 2025, 11:36 a.m., Anon1 says, "Hey Shadow, this is going to be an accusatory question, but I do need an answer. Did you create an invite on May 5th and send it to Kazahana?" Shadowfay, not Sha, and who's I talk to a lot people. I'm better with pictures and faces than names. Anon1, I'm talking about this guy. Did you send an invite to him? Shadowfay, oh, that guy, that message, TBH, I'm not Sha, I think I did message me and I have a breath talk, why? You can tell Shadowfay's grammar isn't great, but bear with me. Anon1, because he's a massive drama vulture who's made 19 videos on Cinder shitting on her, and we just found out he's been in the server since May 5th, and that's according to Anonymous Source 1. And then Shadowfay says, it was really just confirm a screenshot. Think Wikis1 used in a video and I just confirmed it was a reply to something I said on main server. Anon1, okay, if you have DMs with him, can you check? Here's his mention at unknown user, because banned, I guess. Shadowfay posts a screenshot here. I don't know if that screenshot means anything. I just know it was related to apparently the convo that Shadowfay had with More Kazahana about confirming a screenshot from what I understand from this. Could be wrong, but you know. Shadowfay says, it was just to confirm the screenshot was a real message and that it was real and that's what I sent, was me showing it was a reply to my message, but seems some messages have been deleted. Anon1, alright, thanks for answering. Shadowfay, it's fine, hope me just confirming the message he used was a real message wasn't too much a problem. June 2nd, 2025. What happened to server? Anon1. Okay, first of all, it's in the rules to not bring shit from this server over to Cinder's. And secondly, Ike knows about the screenshot. I told him about it. Told you guys I told him about it. I sent the DM of his reply to me, acting like it's some big thing we're trying to hide. Does not, nothing for any of us. You leaking shit like that is grounds for us to not trust you. Why did you feel the need to bring shit into Cinder's server? Okay, so here, I need to provide context here before we continue with this whole conversation of stuff. So, if we scroll all the way down, Anon1 made a screenshot, which, by the way, was shown in More Kazahana's video around the 13-minute mark. Boop. So,
don't settle for less.
Why? YouTube ads, curse you!
A PC on a fake screenshot. Tell it's edited as I pixel counted to make sure the places were past real.
Okay.
For Shylily's, not Shylily, Cinder's server. Cinder's moderator, who is currently, retrying to get up all the chats and stuff. Now, credit to Cinder's moderator here, because this person essentially goes, hey, I've got this thing, and say this isn't exactly 100% real if you're okay with that. However, you can't tell it's edited as I pixel counted to make sure the places were perfect. So they essentially made a fake screenshot. They're saying, damn, Cinder's still in offline chat. I wonder if she left her PC on. Again, this is something to do with just like saying that she's still, you know, there and that she's still online and that she's still looking at chat. And they falsified that. And then obviously...
Okay, so there's a whole thing about this. Technically, yes and no, and Anon one explained it to me. So here you see the screenshot, and if you look correctly at the screenshot that Anonymous Source 1 sent me, it pretty much matches with that screenshot right here. Right there. It's pretty much the same one. Okay, so, and more Kazahana was right, it was just a screenshot made to, hey, show that Cinder is still with us, that she's okay. That's the whole point of the screenshot. But here's the thing that more Kazahana didn't point out in this screenshot. So he read this from this part. Not exactly. This isn't 100% real if you're okay with that. However, you can't tell. It's edited as I pixel counted to make sure the placements were perfect. Okay, so more Kazahana read that sentence and ignored the rest of the message. Now, if you read that message that more Kazahana decided not to read after, here's what they say. Both screenshots are real, and I took the screenshot of Cinder on the day that's displayed as I sent in the Patreon chat. It's the most recent time she was on that I have a screenshot of that, and that I know of. I did edit Cinder onto the screenshot of the community tab. The dates line up, and she was online all day, so there's nothing wrong with the times. So this person, which Anon 1, I guess, is basically saying like, hey, I put in the effort here, I edited the screenshot, but the screenshots, well, I made a screenshot with screenshots that are true. So the screenshots are true, and if you look at the beginning, Anon 1 says, hey, Ike, I got something for you, would this work? And Ikeman says, holy fuck, yes. Get that from Buzz, I take it, which matches the screenshot here. Now, I don't like the fact that more Kazahana just skimmed through that message and didn't read the part where it says both screenshots are real. He just basically said it's false. To be fair, moving forward, you can see Ikeman saying that, and then this person saying, as far as I know, no one has an actual full screenshot of it with the date, and I've asked around, so I put this together. Ikeman, we cannot falsify anything for what we need for. I see, damn, alright, I'll keep asking around and tell others to take a full screenshot if she pops back in. So this person and Ikeman had a civil conversation about this. What is more Kazahana doing? Like, what is this reporting? He reads the part where it's like, it's not exactly 100%, and then just proceeds to ignore the part where this person says both screenshots are real. What the fudge? And this person worked it out with Ikeman. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, this person wanted to just show people that Cinder was there. And granted, it was an edited screenshot with true information. However, it wasn't 100% accurate like this person says, so Ikeman was like, no, we need like an actual screenshot. So, and as you can see here, this person respects that, and just, that was it. There was, and like I said, this information was private. And this person was talking to Ikeman about that. What the fudge? Like, so basically, in a nutshell, this person made a screenshot with true information just to show that Cinder was still okay. Said, is this okay, Ikeman? Ikeman says no, and then this person is like, okay, sure, I'll do my due diligence and get a full screenshot. More Kazahana ignored all of that and basically said, what was it?
That she's still online and that she's still looking at chat, and they falsified that?
They didn't falsify it. They used screenshots that were true. They just basically made it, they basically made an artwork. That was it. So now that we get the context for the screenshot that was in this series of messages, let's go back to where Anon 1 was talking to Shadowfay about that. So yeah, it was from here. So continuing from this point, after we have discovered that, hey, that falsified thing, right, was made using true information, and it is literally in the screenshot. More Kazahana basically outed himself on that. So anyway, Shadowfay. Continuing on 1:19 a.m. It was just a general thing to not fake stuff, as others have done that and made stuff worse by faking it stuff, and by do what you done, it makes this look much worse for something that was meant to be helpful. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but even wiping stuff, people can still get hold of messages that are deleted. Not many people are aware of that or even how to go about it. Anon 1, our only goal for the server is collect info. Right now, there's not much more info to collect. It's borderline a general chat ATM. If you only said to not fake shit, fine, but you then went ahead and posted the channel list from the server. If you can't follow the rules, you can't be trusted. Yes, I know about better Discord and Vencord. I'm not dumb. Shadowfay, but even posting fake stuff causes confusing. Hence me asking if it was real and you saying it's fake, plus you don't know who in the server is a drama tuber who could seen that and used that against Cinder. And then Anon 1 says, no, duh, like the one that was in the server until today. He's gone and won't be getting back in. I already told Ike I'd keep asking around if anyone has a screenshot he could use. It's not that big of a deal, which is shown here. You can see the person was like, okay, I'll go ahead and ask around. Okay, so now that we've have that, okay, Shadowfay, yeah, so 1:26 a.m. Like, I don't want anything to be stipulated and fake stuff that people can't v.i.i.t. It makes people confusing, as this could be twisted to say that we just fake all this stuff on Cinder's behalf. I said to Ike he best join the server as he can, tell people himself what he wants, as then it's coming straight from the person. And on 1, you bringing this up in Cinder's server is what's going to confuse people. Let things be handled behind the scenes. Ike has already asked others to help get the screenshot as well. I'm not the only one. You don't need to shout randomly to not fake shit and then leak the channel list. Ike can join if he wants to. We've already tried to invite him, but he said no, so no, we're not hiding anything from him. Shadowfay, poo, no, I've not been the only person over the time saying don't fake anything, just was meant to be a reminder to people not to do that. Anon 1, and then you leak the channel list. If you cannot follow the rules, you cannot be trusted. Shadow, but why clearing the server makes it look so suspicious? Anon 1, it's not. Your trust is being questioned at the moment, so we restricted your access to the server for now. It's late AFK, and this was something that was done quickly. Shadow, why does it matter anyway that channels say evidence really matter? It just seems like it was retaliation for me saying don't fake stuff. Anon 1, it wasn't retaliation for anything. You break the rules, you suffer the consequences like any other server. Now, if you're just going to take what I say out of context and try to twist my words, this convo is over. It is rule 3, dude. And then provides a screenshot, which, by the way, is whoa, wait, it's from the server. It's from the server, which you can see at the very beginning of Kazahana's video. Wow. So they were part of the server. Crazy. Okay. Shadowfay. 1:39 a.m. I've not taken out context and Lit can't see any rules you are aware of that ant you TBF. I've not seen a tab for rules. And on 1, you should be able to see it now. It's always been at the top of the channel list. Shadowfay provides a screenshot here. Now, this kind of conflicts with what I said earlier when I asked him the question. I was like, what's the name of the server? PPtea. And here you can see v.i.i.t, VTuber Investigate, and then there's just a long title. So before we continue on with this conversation, let me go ahead and bring up another reference. So I did ask anonymous source number 1, like, what is with the server name? I said, I know you said that the server name was PPtea, but what about this server name? Is that a different server or the same one? And then Anon 1 says, yeah, that's the same server. We decided to change the name as PPtea was only meant to be a temporary name. We ended up changing it back before it was deleted since we liked the name better. It also wasn't a mouthful to say. So PPtea and the v.i.i.t VTuber Investigate, whatever thing is, it's the same server, it's just renamed. So going back to the screenshot here, Shadowfay, I really can't see it. And on 1, OFFS, okay, one sec, let me see what's wrong, Shadowfay. So TBF, how can I follow something that I actually don't know about? I'm sorry, but I wasn't aware of this, which proves Anonymous Sources 3's point, where Shadow didn't know about the rules because he couldn't see it, which then started a whole thing where potentially Shadowfay invited more Kazahana into PPtea, the private Discord server, according to the Anonymous Sources. And then Anon 1 says, Kate, while I'm trying to solve this, one of them kicked you. Here's the invite back. It's a one-use invite. There's a Discord link. Shadowfay, thanks. Who kicked me? As it's just you and Nuz who are mods. Also, if I can't see rules, others may not also see them. Anon 1, I checked the channel perms. You should be able to see the rules channel now. Shadowfay shows a screenshot. Can't see the rules. Anon 1, WTF is wrong with this. Shadowfay, like I said, if I can't see others, I may not see, and then could also break rules they're not aware of. Anon 1, okay, can you see it now? Shadowfay, no. Anyway, if I can't comment or see anything anymore, then what's the point me just seeing rules anyway? Anon 1, okay, I made a test roll and gave it to you. Can you see it now? Shadowfay, and look, it's the rules of the VTuber thing. Oh, and the previous name of it was v.i.i.t, VTuber Investigating in Time, so that's the whole thing there. So Shadowfay can see the rules. Anon 1 says, oh, cuz I'm checking to see if it's something with a specific role perms or if it's an issue with the general perms. Okay, good. IDK, why it's like that. Everyone should be able to see the rules even without a specific role. And then Shadowfay goes on to say, well, maybe add it to people so you are 100% sure people can see. Anon 1, I made sure all the roles can see the rules channel now. Please delete this in Cinder server. And then there's a link. And keep stuff confined to the server. We're not trying to start random drama or get people banned because of misinformation. Once it's deleted, I'll give you the PP gang rollback so you can access the server again. Shadowfay done. Anon 1, thank you. Sorry about the misunderstanding. Didn't know there was an issue with the channel perms. Shadowfay, it's fine. I just wanted to help Cinder and not give anyone any ammo to make shit for her. I'm very protective of her brand, and anything, even a joke, can be taken out of hand. Anon 1, I get that, but leaking stuff from the server will only draw more attention to it. The last thing we want is for others to think it's another server like the Hellhound Knights. We are not like them. The more attention that's brought to it, though, the higher the risk that is that we all end up getting banned, which ended up unfortunately happening. And I hope this goes without saying, but please don't share these DMs with others, even within the server. DMs are private for a reason. Shadowfay. Okay, who are they? Anon 1. Who, the Hellhound Knights? Shadowfay, yes. Anon 1. IDK, I've not seen the server myself and only know it because of EK's post about it. I've only been told about one of the members that are in a fallback server of theirs. Shadowfay. Okay, so a secret order of such Anon 1. As far as we know, pretty much, they're not in a good bunch though. All of them got banned from Cinder server and for good reason. Last thing we want for that to happen to us. Shadowfay, okay, but don't it will, as EK seems to be aware and signs off on stuff. Anon 1, he knows of the server we're in, but he can't endorse any side servers that are made, ours included. Shadowfay, I guess. So that's the screenshots that were a part of this convo between anonymous source number 3 and a anonymous VTuber. So these are the screenshots that they have sent me. And then I did ask some more questions, I believe. No, I did not. Okay, shoot. So practically, in a nutshell, all of this information was given to me. So yeah, this is a long video. It was heavily disorganized. I told you guys at the beginning, try to make it cohesive, my best, but like I said, there was a lot of information shown at me. So there is that. Now, I believe there's a thing here. I believe someone pointed this out to me. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. All right. Let me okay, this is going to be hilarious. Oh wait, no, hold on. It's going to be hilarious, guys. Just give me a moment. Where is it? There's a whole thing here. I'm trying to find it. There is an edit here, and it's with this user Ender Bin Bulin. Yeah, no, it's her. And there's a censor bar, but I'm trying to find where the censor is taken out, because apparently the censor was taken out and it was something else entirely. So we're gonna spend a little bit of me trying to find the censor being messed up. Okay. Wait. There it is! Okay, alright. So if you look very closely, and I mean very closely, it's in this screenshot here. It says, yeah, that's gotta be her. Show playing WoW, 100% her. Okay, so look at this where my cursor is. I think you can see where my cursor is, yeah. So that portion right there, if you fast forward, more Kazahana censors it for some reason. And the sentence here shows her playing WoW. World of Warcraft. So already when someone pointed this out to me, I was like, oh, oh boy, that's pretty bad. So I just thought I'd show that little tidbit there. So let's basically go over everything. So beginning of the video, More Kazahana says he spent months making this video, doing research in a group. Basically what was it called? Let me find the name. was a whole thing in the screenshot. Oop, I skipped it. Yeah, the VTuber, v.i.i.t, VTuber Investigating in Time, or PPtea. So that's what, like, more Kazahana was covering over, saying that this Discord server was doxing Shylily's face, which, by the way, is a blatantly bald-faced lie, because when you look for it in the Google search, you can find it here on TikTok. You can see Shylily's in real-life face on TikTok. The stuff was posted years before the year of this current recording, and heck, there is a literal article over Shylily's real-life face. So that's not doxing. Second of all, the information in the Discord server, according to anonymous source 3, if we go all the way back here, is supposed to be private. So it's something somewhere in there. There's a lot of information. So this server was supposed to be private, right? Somehow, apparently, according to the anonymous sources, Shadowfay may have potentially brought more Kazahana into the server, where more Kazahana was there, and apparently, according to the anonymous sources, they think that more Kazahana joined the server on May 5th, which refutes the claim that he made at the beginning of the video, where he was saying that he was spending months about it. Well, guess what? He was there for literally a month, if not less. So that debunks that narrative, and the whole Shylily doxing thing. Remember what we said about doxing. Again, doxing is publishing private information without consent and with malicious intent. And remember, it is not doxing if it's already publicly available. However, the intent determines if it's doxing or not. The information in that Discord server was meant to be private. It was meant to stay in that Discord server. However, more Kazahana was in that server, took screenshots, and made a YouTube video about it, which is shown here. And because more Kazahana made that YouTube video, various people got banned from VTubers, Twitch channels, and Discord servers. There is a whole thing about that. So there is that. And apparently, it seems that more Kazahana didn't cover this truthfully. So there is that in a nutshell. So if the anonymous source's intel is indeed true, if it is true, then more Kazahana... Let's flip the script, actually. More Kazahana claims that this Discord server was trying to dox Shylily's face, right? And we've already proven that, hey, Shylily's IRL face is publicly available on the internet. If you do some digging, literally one of the first results you see on like a Google search. Plus, there is a literal article about her face reveal. It's publicly available. The information in that Discord server was supposed to be private, supposed to be confined to that Discord server, as far as I was told by the anonymous sources that was in that Discord server. And more Kazahana was in there and took that private information, by the way, and posted it publicly. Weird, huh? Weird. So, if doxing is, you know, taking private information and posting it publicly without consent, with malicious intent, then what did more Kazahana do? I can tell you. Ooh, more Kazahana doxed a private server of fans. More Kazahana went in that Discord server. More Kazahana took those screenshots of messages that were supposed to be in that server, not meant for the public, and posted it on YouTube for thousands to see, and pushed a false narrative about them trying to dox Shylily, which apparently, according to anonymous source number 3, that was not the case. They were already using publicly available information. There was no new information in there. This was publicly available information, and Mark Kazahana said it was doxing. Here's the problem here. They were not planning to post this. This was not meant for the public. So, when you think about it, more Kazahana doxed a Discord server full of people. He took private information, posted it publicly, and whether or not it's malicious intent or not, that remains to be seen objectively. But if you ask me personally, if he posts that video, right, and then suddenly people start getting banned from their VTubers Twitch channels and Discord servers, personally, I think that's malicious intent. So, we have met the conditions of doxing, taking private information, posting it publicly, and malicious intent. Now, That's what I think, but objectively, for the intent and for all intents and purposes, hey, who knows, maybe it wasn't out of malicious intent. I could be wrong, but to me, on a biased reasoning, it seems that more Kazahana doxed a Discord server full of fans that were just talking about the Cinder situation, with information that was never meant to see the eyes of the public, according to the anonymous sources. So yeah, so there was doxing. It was just more Kazahana doxed fans of VTubers. If we are to take the anonymous sources' intel as truth and fact, more Kazahana basically just doxed a server full of fans of various VTubers and got them banned from various Twitch channels and Discord servers. So that's the whole thing with this one. I know this was a lot. There's a lot there. So for trying to be transparent, I'm going to post everything I used in this video with additional context. There's additional sources to this. I will post all of it in the description below. I mean that. I'm going to post it here in the description of this video below, so that way you, the viewer, can check the source and come to your own independent conclusion. So I'm just basically making inferences and biased opinions and conclusions based on the information that I have been given from the anonymous sources that spoke up to me regarding this whole situation about the whole Shylily doxing incident. So these are my opinions and conclusions based on that. And remember, I am biased and I am assuming that what the anonymous source is saying is 100% true. So just getting that out of the way. So everything I use for the video will be in the description below. There's a lot of rambling, forgive me. But I know this man's name is more Kazahana, but he needs to be more truthful with his coverage. He needs to be more diligent in how he covers this situation, how he covers things. Because essentially, he just lied to thousands of people about the Shylily doxing thing, and lied about saying he did months of work when, if you saw the evidence that I presented here, he had about a month to make the video. He lied to thousands of people. And he should not be spreading more misinformation than he already has. And with that, hopefully, the people that got banned because of more Kazahana's video, I hope your name gets cleared. I can only do so much with my small channel sphere. But again, this is my opinion and conclusion based on the information that was given to me by anonymous sources. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I encourage you, the viewer, to go to the sources I have in the description below, which I used to make this video, so that way you can come to your own independent conclusion. And please, talk about it in the comments below. You know, I'm human, and I could be wrong. So go ahead and tell me what you think about this whole situation, now that this came forth. And with that, thanks for watching. Oof. Hour-long video.